Be like, do I want this person or do I want somebody else? Is my search over, or do I have found the one? I can't speak for some reason because that sentence did not make sense. I'm definitely getting the energy that the ball is in your court, Gemini, in regards to the situation. All right, there's a decision that needs to be made. Okay. Now, what's in the blind spot? What could be negatively impacting your connection with this person in the month of July that you may not be aware of? Temperance, major for Sagittarius. Now, temperance is all about coming together as a team, working things out. It's all about balance. It's all about healing. It's very spiritual love, really. But when it's in the blind spot, it could be telling me that in the month of July, there might be someone in your life that is losing their temper in some way. Okay, and we did see that Tower with the Queen of Cups earlier during the pre-shuffle. For some of you, you may be starting to date someone new and you've got an ex that still doesn't want to let you go. And they see you, moving on to greener grasses and they're like, hey, Gemini, I don't freaking think so. Or this person still has somebody in the picture. Okay, but if that's not the case, temperance in the blockage, in the blind spot, is definitely telling me that someone might lose their patience in some regard. Might get a little bit irritated that something is not unfolding as quick as they want it to be. Wants to control the situation too much with the Four of Pentacles. Okay? So what's the potential outcome for Gemini and this person in the month of July? Judgment, major for Scorpio. Now, with the outcome being judgment, that's a final decision being made. It's the energy of, all right, time to shit or get out the pot. I either want this person or I don't. I need to make this decision now. Or this person doing it with you. Because remember, their intentions is the Lover's card. And back in the day when tarot was first created, the Lover's card was actually called the Choice. It was called the Choice. It wasn't called the Lovers. It's the energy of making a choice from the heart, making a choice that is in alignment with yourself. Is this person in alignment with me? Will we come together and have a harmonious relationship? Is this exactly what I'm searching for? Things like that. Have I found the one? But with the Two of Pentacles being your feelings, I definitely feel like you are being guided to definitely weigh out the pros and cons with this situation and really ask yourself, is your search over? Okay, only you can judge the situation on an individual level, whereas this person can judge the situation on their own individual level. We can only judge ourselves. All right. I am getting, for some of you, there could be also a reconciliation after an argument. Maybe you guys have an argument because this person is acting too possessive or is like trying to control the narrative too much, and you guys have a little bit of a...
Good morning, guys. Here I am back with another collective reading. As usual, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Energy is fluid. We could be picking up in the past, present, or future. Utilize your discernment to decide what's yours and what's not. Not everything will resonate. So just take what's yours and leave it for whoever this is meant for. With that said, here we go. Let's figure it out. Let's see what we're talking about today, Spirit. What do we have for the collective? Who needs to hear what this morning? The Eight of Pentacles in reverse. When I see this card, collective, before I pull any more, it's like the Eight of Pentacles is typically about putting in a lot of time and effort into something. The Eight of Pentacles is like a rush job, you know what I mean? But it also gives me the vibe this morning of a popularity contest. When your job becomes a popularity contest instead of about skill or dedication. When it becomes who you know and your connection versus what's actually expected in order to produce a quality result in terms of anything that is supposed to be a job. You know what I mean? Just laziness, a lack of quality within a system because of those who turn it into a popularity contest instead of appreciating those who actually have skill and bring something, a quality into that job getting done efficiently, properly, and all of that. So with that said, here we go. Eight of Pentacles, please. the Tower. And the destruction is to follow with that, isn't it? It takes the credibility away. And justice. Man, we could be talking about the justice system for all we know, huh? When it becomes less about justice, equal justice, right? Accountability, law, and truth, and more about who you know, a lazy, sloppy job because of a popularity contest. And surely a tower is coming. A disaster happens when you are supposed to be in a position of integrity and you turn it into a lazy, dead-end job. So there seems to be, and this kind of goes with a lot of what we've been talking about here, who can be expected to do their job, right? When it becomes more about who you know. Kind of like what I was touching on with the education system yesterday. It becomes less about education and more about a popularity contest or a group mindset, a hive mind of everybody that thinks the same, and nothing gets done. And so it looks like in here, justice can't be done properly, with integrity, without accountability of actually putting in the time and the effort to dedicate your skill, expertise, and mastery in the field, instead of turning it into laziness, not doing your job, and just all about who you know. That is no longer a justice system. That is just a playground for people with a paper of qualifications. No different than a bunch of grown children with no discipline. And so it looks like with the Tower here, something needs to change within the justice system, in whatever legal situation this is, or whatever court, or whatever this is, right? Whatever institution, something needs to change significantly, because the people who are behind cause and effect, true, real cause and effect that has consequences on the lives of people, are lazy. Some of them have bad reputations. Some of them are mediocre at best at doing their job, and have turned it into just who you know. And quite frankly, collective, that's bullshit, and we know it. So there needs to be an upheaval here. Some people may need to get kicked out of whatever position they've held. Now, we could say this about just about anything, right? This is a broad topic that could cover so many things, but we're going to zoom it in so that we don't get overwhelmed, right, at needing to change the entire world. It's right now, this is affecting our little worlds here as a collective. In some way, this is your story. And so many of you can't believe that so many people resonate with this story. And I am just so grateful that no one is really alone here, right? This is something that has affected this collective specifically. And there needs to be a change. There needs to be a change, because the positions that are being held, the ones that are actually affecting people, it's laziness behind these decisions being made. How can you call yourself someone? How can you call yourself a judge when your judgment is ruled by a rushed job, When you walk in and you put in mediocrity, and yet your judgment affects the lives of others significantly. That is just a poor reputation at that point, and that is a poor representation of what the justice system is supposed to be about. You know what I mean? Justice is supposed to be balance, those scales, getting them balanced as much as possible. But in this situation here, with this collective, it was a rush job, like a kindergartner holding a crayon, And then you told them, go, do whatever you want with that crayon. No checks and balances, no looking into things properly, no integrity or honesty, no accountability, but all the consequence for the collective, correct? You are on the other side of the consequence of their laziness, and that is wrong. That is abuse of power and authority. And so something needs to change here significantly. Okay, with the Tower. So, with that said, is there anything else? Of course there's something else, but what is that something else? That's the question. Okay, I gotta pick those up after. My cards are all falling all on the floor right now. Isn't that nice? That's been happening the last few days. We have In My Arms, November. Knowing the difference, playful, and without knowing. So it's interesting to me when these two cards come out at the same time, because this isn't the first time it's happened. Without knowing and knowing the difference. So someone knows the difference between right and wrong. Somebody knows the difference between truth and not truth, right? Or just the difference between anything. And yet without knowing one of those sides, they made the call. They made the judgment call without knowing the difference, knowing that there's supposed to be a difference, right? That there's supposed to be representation of everybody, that there is a difference between A and B, because it's your job to know the difference, and yet somehow without knowing, you still made the judgment. So it wasn't that someone didn't know, they didn't choose to know, which means they chose to be ignorant. And they knew this. They knew the difference between knowing and not knowing. And so they're kind of in their own inception there, aren't they, of knowing. In My Arms and playful, knowing. This tells me whatever was in this person's hands was not held carefully, was not looked into carefully. Playful tells me this person did not take seriously their job, or what they were ruling, or what they were doing, what they were in charge of, and the consequence it held for somebody else. They did not take it seriously. They saw it as a game or a toy or just something they didn't need to take seriously. And it was in their hand, right, on their desk. The ball was in their court. And so even though this person would have known the difference, especially if we're talking about the justice system, they were just ignorant, remaining ignorant. They didn't need to be ignorant. They chose it because they didn't take something seriously. They were mediocre at their job of needing to take cause and effect seriously. And the month of November is significant here. So this could have happened in November. Okay. I'm gonna grab that. Hang on. Okay, I got it. It's the King of Wands, Death in the reverse, the Queen of Wands, and the Six of Pentacles. Okay, I'm not, you know what? I feel like Death should be upright. In the reverse, it still means it's still meaning the same thing. So we have the King and Queen of Wands, right? These are two people that could be doing the same thing. They could be in the same environment, either in work, the justice system, or they could also be together. But they have been awfully generous. You see how there's the scale here? These two have been generous in doling out death sentences. And this could be actual death sentences, or this could just be metaphorically a death sentence for someone, right? The consequences have been dire for somebody else, or they have missed out or lost. And these two have maintained positions of authority where they have been generous in their shitty judgment. They have been generous in causing delays stagnations and endings for people, doling them out like candy because they refuse to do their job properly. And these two could be at it together. These two could be in the system, or they could just be in some way with the same goal of being generous to cause endings for others, or frustrations or delays. And do you see how it's like they look down at you? Typically this is about charity, but that's not the vibe I'm getting here. Not with death. In the upright or the reverse. They know they're above you. They know they have the ability to change your life. And yet they don't do their due diligence, or they have a personal agenda as to why they make the judgments they do. They have the ability and the control. Now, this doesn't have to be a judge. It could be. This could just be anyone who believes, because they in some way hold that scale, right, of justice. They know they can affect your life. And so they confidently, okay, because this is not an accident. They confidently alter people's lives and cause consequences by having some sort of connection to the justice system. So these people don't have to be directly involved in the justice system. They just need the connection. And they know this. They know this too. So they confidently take that leadership position in holding that connection over your head, and then generously causing an ending. And this is just wrong, collective. This is why the tower needs to fall for whoever is in this position. And this doesn't even have to be somebody in the building. This could be anybody who holds over your head that scale, or says, I have connections. Anybody. Even law enforcement can be the victim of their own, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter who you are. If it's a popularity contest, or if somebody pulls the string, or whatever, or they just hold it over people's heads, that they have the ability to affect your life terribly, negatively, to cause you an ending, a delay, a frustration. And they're arrogant, and they confidently take this into their hand. And this is what has happened in this collective. So something needs to change significantly here. We have the poppy, higher education, the crown, new relationships in the pipe, offensive vices, impulsive decisions. Higher education, there it is, collective. We should all be able to have access to education, proper education. Education should be free. Information is free. Look at what's happening with social media as it's educating our youth. And look at these middle-aged narcissists who are behind utilizing profiles. It's sickening. But this is all about being able to educate ourselves here. A wealth of information to be able to at least know where to begin to deal with this kind of corruption. I see somebody here behaved recklessly. They did not think before they acted, and that affected somebody's wealth. That affected the way others acknowledge somebody on the receiving end of all of this. Whatever impulsive, reckless choice that they made that was not thoroughly looked into, but was made based on a connection or a string being pulled, they affected and transformed somebody in a negative way, affecting their finances and trying to affect the way others see this person. This person wears a crown, a metaphorical crown, collective. You are intelligent, wise. Again, we'll talk about that growth mindset you have. You believe in improvements and positive changes. And somebody acted a fool without knowing you. You had no ability to defend yourself against this, because these were just people who held the power. But I see something here. Somebody is about to be acknowledged for something. Something that took place here this situation where this happened to you in some way, whoever this is for, you are about to be acknowledged. Let go of, you know what? Let go of offensive people too. You don't need it. People who are offensive are just they're just showing you what's in there of themselves. That's how they think of themselves. You don't need any more judgments. You don't need to take in any more information that has to do with how another perceives you. I think that's happened enough here in this collective. Your life has been affected significantly. Keep focusing on the little ways you can improve what you know and how you can use it to combat whatever the hell this is. Because it's true, collective, that crown is yours. Crown could also signify to me what you know, right? The crown chakra. You know what you know. And that crown has been what has really gotten you through to know what's going on. The higher education has been the crown, what the universe has allowed you to know. So remember that. Because there have been some people who behave very impulsively and offensively towards you. But that's not you. And it has no bearing on you. And at some point, something is about to change with a tower. But you have to know it to be true, right? How can a tower fall unless somebody starts to light the fire, speak up, get it moving? And if we try to like broaden that, right? And it's like we live in a really fucked up world, and it's so true. But sometimes we need to really zero in on ourselves, our own personal situations, because we can't change the world all at once, okay? We just can't. But anything we can do that just educates ourselves just a little bit more, that acknowledges how we, are affected in our own ways. What little changes and improvements can we make right now to help affect the situation that you were in as a whole? Right? Just little positive changes, and trust your crown chakra. Go through each chakra, right? Focusing on the root and working your way up until you can begin to speak truth, and you can see, and then you can really know what is best for you, because no one can tell you, this is what you should do, this is what you should do. No one can tell you. Only you can find that out. What is your personal circumstance? And with that, I think I'm just about done here. So let me grab a few more, and I gotta pick up my cards off the floor. Conflict. Wow, these are just flying. Okay. Grounding, conflict. Ground yourself, collective. There is a conflict coming, right? There is no tower that does not have a conflict. You are going to face clashing differences and incompatibilities no matter where you go. There will always be somebody who begins to, if they can't get at you one way, they start with the personal stuff, right? Don't get involved in that. That just takes the attention away off the real issue. Oh, we got angry underneath. That was underneath conflict. Angry. You are going to enrage people. So it is, people are about to become furious and enraged because of the consequences of their own actions, because of their own laziness, but they want to project it outward. And so right now, somebody really needs to start grounding themselves and finding stability and security in themselves. You are safe. It is safe to be you. You know the truth. And these hot-headed wackos are not your problem. The way they project their inner world, their inabilities, their insecurities, not your problem. Right now, your main issue is you being stable and secure in yourself. Because yes, you are going to anger people. This is a shakeup. This is a big shakeup, collective. The tower is falling. And people who are sitting in it, high and mighty, are going to be furious when it falls. But remember, if you are you don't make anybody angry. But if somebody is angry at you, it's because you have an incompatibility. And just keep grounding yourself in you. Why are you incompatible? Well, that will vary. But in the case of corruption, it's because you speak truth, right? If somebody begins to go on a personal attack, this is why you need to be more grounded, right? Because once they can't get you where they want you, they begin with the personal stuff. Deviating away from the actual issue, they start to attack you personally. But you are incompatible with these people. There is a stark difference between you and them and whatever you're going up against, and that is okay. You are still you. You can trust you to be you, and you are stable and secure being you. And so, with that said, let's talk a little bit actually about this tower. Can you tell me anything about it? The Three of Pentacles working together. So whoever was working together, they're about to be broken up. There is a group of people who had a collaborative effort, okay? Pooling together their energy, their resources, and all of this manufactured chaos to behaving in a corrupt and unjust way. And it's about to get broken up. The Ten of Swords. Wow. These people came together to try to victimize you, to betray you, and to bring you to absolute ruin. It was a joint effort, the Five of Pentacles and the Five of Cups in reverse. These people are about to be broken up. They will hit their own failures in whatever they were doing, in their own lives, their jobs, their stability. They wanted this for you, poverty, unemployment. They wanted you to be isolated, and they wanted you to feel abandoned. But there is a tower that's going to break this group up, and whatever they wanted for you, collective, they are truly going to get here. And so it will be up to you to find peace in yourself. Don't have to look at these people and look at what the adversity they are about to face, because they asked for it by name, by coming together. Right? People say, like, what is it? When two or more gather in my name, there I am. Works the other way, as above, so below. Several people came together to conjure up a negative beast. Now they get to deal with it. They essentially prayed for this, and they don't even realize it. By consistently speaking that negativity in the air, by consistently putting those vibrations out there, they were creating a beast they never realized. And so they can face the adversity and the disgrace that they wanted to put you under. Because in some way, these are people you have stark differences with. You don't believe in the same things. Not just believe, but you are staunchly different. Even in the way you think, your intentions, all of it. They want the Ten of Swords for you, and yet all you want to do is heal. And this was a group effort. At least 3 people coming together, consistently speaking your name in rooms you've never been in, and they don't stop. They just keep doing it. They don't even realize what they created for themselves. And so I can see where the rage is, especially looking here at the Five of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords. I can see why they're about to be enraged. Because in some way you're going to be set free. You're going to be moving on, finding contentment with the whole thing, grounded in yourself, capable of moving on, as you always have been. That's been you. But these people still stand there together, creating and fabricating and scheming. What picture should we paint of the collective next? You see how this person's on the computer there? How should we make the collective look next? What should we do next to cause an ultimate betrayal, failure, and ruin, to put you down? It just didn't work. And so now the tower's about to fall, and people are about to be really pissed. So with that said, I will be back in a little bit after I pick up my, my cards, and I have some water, guys. Take care. Hey guys, here I am back with another collective reading. As usual, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Energy is fluid, so it could be picking up on the past, present, or future. Put yourself where you belong. Just don't force it if it's not yours, okay? Here we go. Flow like water. Flow like water. One more, please. Be still. Be still and flow like water. Okay. So some things just don't require our reaction or our response. It just requires everything to flow around us like water, to ebb and flow, and all we really need to do is just lay there and float for a bit. Okay? It looks like that's what is being asked to do. Right? When we see water, our emotions, our feelings, a culmination of just everything around us, doesn't always require us to act or to do anything, but just be. And we'll get moved and pushed by the current and the waves and end up where we're supposed to be. Sometimes that's all we really need to do, is just be and allow things to move, and we'll move. We won't feel it. Like, you know, when you're floating at the beach and you're like, how did I get all the way over here? You didn't see it. I thought I was over there. Yeah, well, you ended up over here because you were just laying there. It's kind of like that. Looks like you're being moved right now. So you just got to go with the flow. Leaving. Maybe you're just leaving where you were. And leaving and cut the cord. Very interesting. I love how these come together. You know what I mean? In harmony. Like I was just saying, you're leaving, collective. There are many cords that are being cut, okay? And you are out, leaving. And you do not really have to do anything to leave. It's more like spirit and the events that are about to unfold and surround you, like water, are naturally pushing you out with the current. Goodbye. Okay? You don't have to do anything in particular. You just need to be still and allow yourself to be moved. See how this person's just laying there? Just be still and allow yourself to be moved, because you are leaving and many cords are being cut for you. Okay? So whatever you're attached to, give it a snip and allow yourself to move. And what is the collective leaving from? What are they leaving? Messaging, respect. Messaging, respect. And let me grab a couple of tarot cards and then this one. And then I will put this together. 10 of Cups in reverse, 8 of Swords in reverse. You are leaving an unhappy home. You are leaving disharmony within a family situation. The Ten of Cups is about family. So you are being separated and removed from your family. Yes, you are. Not in isolation. You are already cast out. That's what Spirit is saying. You are already cast out, okay? You are now being moved physically away. You'd never fit. You never belonged here. And collective, this is the Ten of Cups, so this isn't like, this is a big situation for you. This is almost everyone for you. Both sides, many different, extended, all of it, collective, you are being moved. You are getting freedom and taking back control over who you are, your narrative. Messaging and respect tells me these people